we're back in it. Only a split second there of downtime. It was so short, I don't even know if there was downtime.
Isn't it nice that we don't have... I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah, don't...
Like 10 years ago, 10 plus.
You're treading on thin ice, Lizard. You're gonna jinx it. And I'm not gonna be held responsible.
I'll shut up. I'm just saying, we have it good now. It was way worse back in the day.
That's fair. I'll agree. So, off that little bit of a pause, we did see Celery end up dying. And back to farming they go as XM going for the Gleipnir. And Shard next for the Visage, just 100 gold off of it. Ame wanting that Manta, he's got that early Maelstrom. He's starting to farm up, but he is still very far behind everybody.
Yeah, his job right now is basically time zone, right? Like when you're this far behind as a Faceless Void, your job is to jump in, use your ulti. That's basically it. Unfortunately for him, there are some heroes that don't care about it. Io, Storm, all of these can rescue themselves. On top of that, you have Shadow Demon that you're up against. It does feel that it's easier for gaming gladiators to set things up right now. Like GG can jump in with Storm, Orchid, and then you can relocate on top. But they're just clumped up as 5.
Atos. And they've got the familiars for the back-to-back lockdown, but it's not going to be enough to get that kill just yet. There's the Gleipnir finished for XM. And they're going to fight into this, maybe thinking it's still a Rod of Atos, but it will be a Gleipnir that comes on through. They've got the Supernova. Celery's going to try and hit it once. They're going to get the Electric Vortex on a Xingqiu. The time zone is down. Quinn is dead. The Supernova pops. They get the gun to Celery. They look over at Ace, trying to chase this Timber, but A is not really the valid target. Ame fighting back on Ace's Bear. They'll get the 300 gold. They'll go after the hero. They're going to try and get the Lone Druid. They've got the Assassinate charged up and thrown over onto Tofu. That'll get a gun to the Shadow Demon. Finishing off Ace. 4 heroes dead. Duraccio gets out, but another big fight for Xtreme Gaming.
They're just ready. They're always there. They're moving as 5. Like, surely this can be punished. Like, aren't you supposed to just split the map right now? Like, you have the Lone Druid and stuff. Like, one of the... So, Lone Druid at the moment, the way I feel about the hero is he's strong in some individual pickoffs. Like, if you're skirmishing 2 versus 3 or something like that. If you have these massive 5-on-5 fights, at this stage of the game, he's really weak. He'd rather just be, like, split pushing, doing whatever on his side. And gaming, like, they understand that, but they're still forced to fight. They're still forced by Xtreme Gaming. They're going for objectives.
So willing to fight, and so willing for Ame to even want to fight, right? Knowing how far he is behind, but it doesn't scare him off from a fight like that. Knowing that with time zone, the results are possible.
That's the way you need to play. I love seeing a Faceless Void do exactly that. Every time he's got ulti, he joins, he uses it, and then he can go AFK.
Yeah.
There's something that just triggers you when you see a Faceless Void with his ulti just chilling, farming at minute 15.
Yeah, when you're just kind of relaxing, you want to be there with the entire team. 'Cause if you can get a good time zone, a good chrono, you're going to get gold from a good fight.
Absolutely.
Use it to your advantage.
Yeah. And you help your teammates, right? They're the ones that's going to love it. Duraccio trying to solo the Tormentor. Of course, you can do this. Tofu dead.
Tofu very dead. And there it is. Tofu for his death will get the shard, as is Tormentor tradition. I usually try to die in my Tormentors to get shard. It really boosts your drop rate for him.
No, you can solo Tormentor with Enchantress as well, with a Pike. Try that one. You can get the shard and you can die for it at the same time.
Please don't ruin my pubs.
Oh, it's a good trick. Like, my chat trolled me to do that, and like you just die. You get the shard, but you die from impetus shots. In base.
Does this only work for the first Tormentor? Or does this work at all moments?
I think it works for most, because you're so far away. Like, those impetus shots are pure, so they should be taking it down. Anyways, no Enchantress here. She's banned in most of these games.
Xingqiu, I'd said before that he was 2-0 in the Snow Rui event with this Timber. And one of the things that makes me interested, because we used to see him play like Void Spirit, Ember Spirit, he plays these unconventional fours at times. And it always brings me into the thoughts of like, Xingqiu has played every position in his pro career, from 1 to 5. And I wonder how much of that has made it so he's ready to play these heroes.
He's ready to play the heroes, but it's like PYW and DY were this staple, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you would never see them do what I'm seeing right now. And that's Phoenix is buying a Shivas, he's got a Veil, and Timbersaw is also buying a Shivas, he's got a Veil. Like, I'm not sure, but I don't think that's optimal. Like, on Phoenix at least, you can literally buy any support item in the game. And it would work, so... Doubling down like this is a lot of wasted gold.
Disruption, Ball Lightning, Quinn committing to this, going after him with the Orchid, but they've got the Rod of Atos, they have the Icarus Dive, Quinn's out of mana, Quinn's out of life.
Did he expect a relocate? Because that's the only way that makes sense, right?
That's what I would assume he was expecting with Dyrachyo and Celery combined at the hip there. But they didn't end up coming through for him.
They're like, bro, you're on your own.
You're past the tier 1. You're dead, dude.
Not this time. He went in with, like, he literally had no mana once the zip completed.
So 3,000 net worth lead here for Xtreme Gaming. And Dota Plus saying 58 to 58 to 42%.
That's not too bad, right? Like 60-40. I think that's fair enough.
Wondering on what we can see from Gaming here, because it's got to be coordinated for them to get a couple of these kills, and we haven't really seen them take advantage or relocate too heavily, right? Like the fight that they had over by the tier 2 on the Radiant side, they relocated into that, but it wasn't enough. Like, we haven't been seeing those fast movements.
For sure, that relocate even hurt them because they went back and Egg just survived. There was no one to kill it, so the relocate back actually wasn't that great there. But Celery is a very competent IO player. I'm sure they will find the right ways to use in this game. By the way, Razor Arcane Boots. Just putting it out.
I was looking. I thought of you when I saw them. Going into Sanjin Yasha next. He's got to be a little bit careful. They do have some help with Tofu off in the trees, but Tofu might even be the one who ends up getting caught in this position. Assassinate thrown out onto this Shadow Demon. They've got the Familiars trying to catch up. Icarus Dive, Sunray. Now the Familiars have caught up. They'll get 1 stun, 2 stuns, and a kill.
And right next to the Rush Pit, right? Like,
yeah.
So unfortunately, it is minute 25 for XG, but they can still go top.
Quinn. Gleipnir, BKB. And there is the time lapse all the way out.
That's basically free rush.
Sorry, the Ball Lightning. I don't know why I said time lapse.
No, because he time-lapsed backwards at the same time. Whatever, Faceless Void was there. It happens to me as well. But because of that BKB being used, they can go into the pit, make free rush, free Aegis. It's only the first Aegis, it's not the list of deals, but all these items are just coming online.
Aegis here, now for Ame. Although Ame gets it with 10,000 net worth as the carry, I want to make a case for Xingqiu. He's got the same net worth.
Or maybe Sniper even, right?
yeah.
He's kind of in the back line, so hard to reach, and Faceless Void might be the one jumping in first. And he's been, he didn't have the best laning stage, so this is basically making sure the tier recovers.
Stacks being taken by Dyrachyo and Celery. using that Gleipnir to stack while they were taking this at the 26-minute mark.
Anyways, still top of net worth. I guess that's where we're going next, right?
Yeah. Because the farming efficiency has been really good for them, and despite the fact that it's 13-5, it was 5-5, so it's been 8 unanswered kills.
Yeah. I guess it's just much easier for them to play the map. Like, that's something that we discussed earlier. XG is just keeping together at all times. They're just moving as a group. Meanwhile, on gaming, like, you have Storm on one side, Lone Druid on the other, Io and Razor on like completely somewhere else. So it's easier for them to farm items.
Ame going for the Mjolnir. He's got that Manta now. About to pass Quinn in net worth. Quinn's game has not felt like the presence we are so used to feeling with him on this hero.
And we talked about how good of a Storm game this is, but he made a couple of interesting moves, you know? Jumping too far on that Faceless Void was one of the moves.
It's a little bit tough when you don't see a number over the Galvanize icon.
That's the reason, right?
It's not the complete reason, I'm just saying. It's a rough scene. You take that tier 2 over bottom. We continue to play pretty aggressive here, maybe hoping that somebody comes over for the Wisdom Rune at 28 minutes and they can catch a kill. He's actually coming pretty close, so does Quinn. And they do have vision of this. They have this ward right by the steps. They know that Ace and Quinn have just shown up. They were close, but now they're going to go to the Ball Lightning, go into the backlines. They've got the Orchid on a DY, but they get the kill on a Celery. Now the Orchid, the silence, the kill is in enough. Oh, DY! After the Orchid's able to survive with a sliver of health against the Supernova off! You've got to be kidding me. They can't even kill the Phoenix. They finally get the kill on XXS, but the right clicks onto the Bear. XM free to just shoot away. Gleipnir's going to be used. That's on Ace as well as his Bear. They get the kill to the Bear. They'll take out Lone Druid next. 3 heroes dead on the side of Gaming Gladiators. Just on the edge of that time zone, and he survives. Oh my god.
That was so unfortunate for Gaming Gladiators as well, because they committed on Visage with the other 2 cores, and they didn't manage to even kill it before he used Gravekeeper Scope. Like, he has this shard, he goes into Stone form, you don't finish him off fast enough, and because of that he resummons the familiars and then stuns you and just buys enough time for XM and Ame to clean up house.
How much health was on DY when he got the egg off?
It wasn't looking great. Like he's supposed to die.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, you know what usually saves you in that situation? Buying a Lotus instead of second Shivas. That's who can blame him at this point? It's just they're winning this game at the moment, at least, very convincingly.
They're going for the sniper. But it's not easy. This Sunray keeping XM alive. Do they have the damage? He's on the edge. He's got 9 health. He's gone. All right, they get this kill, but how much is it going to cost them? They'll end up losing Celery. Duraccio goes down. They'll look over at Zincu. This is a 4-position Timber, and they are trying to kill. The right clicks are coming through. They've got the Orchid. They'll get the kill. They'll take out the Timber. Now they're going to look over at XXS as well as Ame, but they're going to try and fight back. Nobu is here with some help from DY. As XXS goes down to the ground, comes back up, goes after Tofu's Soul Assumption, but there's the fear, the root, the kill, and a good defense there for the side of Gaming Gladiators.
Okay,
Ball Lightning looking for more. Getting pulled by
look at that
the
timer.
Wild Wing Ripper. Uh-oh.
It's done.
Yeah, it's done. Quinn not getting this kill, though.
He's been there before, you know. He had the same exact situation. He's like, yeah, I'm not killing this Faceless Void, let's just chill. Go back. Overall, it looked super good for Xtreme Gaming. Like, after that fight, this fight in particular, they cleaned up like the fact that Phoenix managed to survive, also the fact that Visage survived, but then they stuck around a little bit too long and they got punished for it. They didn't have time zone anymore, they didn't have their ultimates, they didn't have the egg. They stuck around. Okay, you take the side, and that's what you came for, so you're still happy for sure, but they did suffer some caution. Some deaths in the end.
5 HP. Another Tormy taken. Quinn getting that shard, so they'll have that upgraded overload. And we're still sitting pretty tight here. As Blink Dagger now finished for Tofu. Lotus picked up for Timbersaw. And Phoenix gonna go and finish a Glimmer Cape. So now just holding on to the casual plate mail.
It's pretty good. So he decided not to finish Shivas in the end. I think the main reason why he decided that was because of the egg in this last fight. He barely managed to get it off, so yeah, buying some save item or a Glimmer-esque item probably makes more sense. You know that the Storm Spirit will be jumping you, so...
See what they can get done here. Roche potentially back up in a minute and 5 seconds. But let's see what the extra timer is for that Roche. XXS just about finishing off the AC.
Yeah, he's got it.
There it is.
They've got the AC, and I believe MKB is done in like 30 gold.
Quinn working with the ending moments of an amplify damage. So not going to use that just yet, but a 5-man smoke coming here for Xtreme Gaming, and there's the MKB finished off for Ame.
He's got the MKB before Razor even finished off Butterfly.
Oh yeah, this item's value in him getting it loses a lot before it's even there. Ace is a bit of a precarious position, and Timber Chain all the way across. Time dilation, Icarus dive, going for the fear, has the Sunray. Familiars are here. They will have the lockdown, but do they have the damage? They've got some help from Tofu. Can he get the disruption off? Yes, he can. That'll avoid the assassinate, but the bear's gonna be dead, and so will Ace.
Yeah, they
disruption not enough.
They can wait for the IO now. There is no lone druid. They know the relocate is going to come back, so this might be another freebie.
Might be and will be. Oh, Tofu. Yeah, 3 heroes without buyback.
He tried to save him. He tried to move in so that there's a tether target. It's like the worst save your bro syndrome, you know? And the throne, they're going for tier 4s.
There's a buyback available on Tofu, and he's going to use it. The ball lining in. They've got the Vortex. It's going to be onto the Sniper. The Lotus Orb is there. They've got the Round of Atos on a Quinn. They'll go to the BKB, and he'll have to ball lightning and keep his distance. There's still time zone, and there's still Supernova. These tier 4s are starting to get low. Well, one's dead, and the other one's about to be gone. BKB no longer available for Quinn, so he needs to be careful. They'll still focus the throne. They've got Narashi and Tofu off to the side. Quinn's going to end up dead. He's got buyback. They'll use it. And Gleipnir immediately purged off thanks to this Lotus Orb. The Timber Chain away, getting out of the static click. They'll go after Quinn. They've got themselves a second kill on him in just a moment, but he ball lightnings back in. Doesn't matter, the throne is dead, and Xtreme take game number 1.
Yeah, XXS, he just had that throne in his vision. Literally just right-click it throughout that fight. He didn't care about anything else or anyone else. Nicely done by Xtreme Gaming. Like, even though the laning stage didn't go that great for them, like, let's be honest, it was pretty much devastating laning stage. Like, your Lone Druid had more denies than Ame had CS 2 times. Like, he had 40 denies when Void had like 20 CS. Your Visage as well was feeding, but they managed to, you know, combine themselves and just play as 5. Gaming Gladiators, they didn't have an answer.
Yeah, Xtreme, they brought it together at around the 15-minute mark. They had a good fight by their tier 2 tower, and they ultimately take the game. And, well, to break it down further, we've got the panel. Take it away.
Thank you very much, B-Cup and Lizard. A lot to break down with this first game of the series. And I want to start with the Timber Saw, mostly because at the end of that game, the net worth was fairly even between the teams, with still the tricore of the side of Gaming Gladiators very heavy on top in the net worth. But Timber Saw, he was creeping up there, Lacoste. This position for Timber Saw, you said is new tech around the block. I'm assuming we're going to see it a lot more.
Oh, for sure. And I like the pairing of this one with Visage. Something that they try to do is fight back against IO Razor instead of fleeing back, because Visage, you know, he doesn't have many opportunities to run away once you get on top of him. So they try to square up and get the damage done. And I like that this improved thing on his shredder, the relatively new facet that allows you to slow people down for 1 second, and it deals insane amount of damage as well. You also have quite an unlimited mana. I thought he might go for the auras in this one, but it's Jin-Q, so he's gonna be super greedy, pretty much Shiva's as his first item, and then going for the Lotus Orb. But yeah, it was more about stopping the healing. We've seen Sniper with Scotty, which is a bit unconventional item build, and you can talk us through this team fight, because it was very impressive that Phoenix did survive.
Yeah, Phoenix getting his eggs off this game was very impressive, because this team fight here, obviously it could have gone very differently for XG if this egg hadn't come off in the last minute, because they do kill off the Visage here, and if they didn't have that backline range damage plus stun coming from the Phoenix, it could have been devastating. But this wasn't the only egg that salvaged the game for XG. In the mid lane, when Gaimin made their smoke on the Sniper, XG reacted so well. They brought in Visage and Phoenix, and that Phoenix egg lived one hit away again, and they managed to get so much comeback gold, which turned the game for them. So this is a really incredible performance from DY here.
Yeah, that was the type of play, though, from Gaimin that at like 30 minutes into the game, you know, Quinn, he already jumped kill Sniper. He's then jumping again to go for a Phoenix, and the Phoenix then pops and gets the kill. Like, I think with this type of draft from Gaming, getting the one pick and resetting is good to then go again as full strength. To try and play for that extra little bit of advantage is what Xtreme want. Like we've already said during the draft, like they are, you know, 2 or 3 good siege defenses away from bringing their draft to life, and you know, 13 minutes we're already entertaining one fatal mistake from Gaming, and then later Xtreme have the confidence, of course, to make their own moves with the eggs that we're mentioning as well from Effie and Lacoste. And, like, it becomes a little bit too easy for Xtreme to play this game, because after how good the lanes were, Gaming, their first move failed, and then they were too afraid to cross the river. Like they had top net worth on Razor Lone Druid, but after that one blunder, they weren't going, guys, we can do it, because in the back of their mind, it's like, we can't do it, because can we kill an egg? Can we fight into the time zone? Can we fight into a Sniper who we can't really find, as we don't have the perfect jump for backline outside of course Storm? So I think a lot of concerns got put into Gaming, self-inflicted.
But the way that you're describing that almost seems like Gaming, at that stage of the game, almost was playing to not lose, is how we call that, when you're not playing to win, basically.
Yeah, I mean, they had the confidence based on their early shot calling, and then whoever was the shot caller, I'm assuming maybe Quinn, he then felt that doubt in him, or as a team, that they then kind of went for a plan B. And I think with this type of lineup, as soon as you hit plan B, that needs to be like 35, 40 minutes into the game, once you've already got like at least decent gold from taking towers. If you're already second guessing yourself after a 30-minute fight where you haven't really taken tier 1s with this type of lineup, it is Xtreme's game to win. Yeah,
because Lacoste, you said earlier on, before the game started, after the draft, that Gaming, they will, if they win, they'll do it before minute 25. Like that was their power spike.
Yeah, 25-30. They were unable to close out the game. The game was already shifting. That one like bad fight when they were trying to invade the part of the map, the southern part of the map, and they were unable to get. I think they got team wiped in that one. This was pretty much the beginning of the end. You can't feed away that many kills with a lineup like this. And both of these drafts, they didn't have any stuns, basically, so the way they try to itemize was get the Globson on. Everybody pretty much had it. Sniper did go for Gleipnir as well. You had Visage with Rod of Atos, Razor, and then you also had a Lone Druid, so they try to set things up. This is the strongest item in Dota right now. It feels very good for farming. It gives you HP, makes